This is Mark in the Center for Online Learning and Innovation. Teams can easily collaborate on data gathering projects in Qualtrics. That's helpful because important surveys can be complex undertakings requiring input from several people. Or applications and sign-up sheets might need to be monitored by more than one staff member. Let's take a look at two options for collaborating in Qualtrics: sharing projects between users and groups. Sharing a project you have in Qualtrics with other Canisius College users is quite simple. On the My Projects page, identify the project you wish to share. Click the drop-down arrow at the far right. Choose Share Project. In the Type Username or Email block, type in the Canisius username of the individual with whom you'd like to share the project. If the individual has logged into Qualtrics at any point in the past, you'll see them listed. If they're not listed, they probably haven't been in Qualtrics before, so Qualtrics never created them an account. All they need to do is click the Qualtrics link in My Canisius and go into Qualtrics for the first time. Once you click Add, Qualtrics gives you the option to include a message in the email notification it will send to them, telling them that you've shared the project with them. Adding a message is an option, but regardless, Qualtrics will send them an email notification telling them that you've shared a project with them. Qualtrics then asks you just how many features you'd like to give them access to. For example, if you wish to have student workers add questions to your form, but you don't want them to send the survey, you can uncheck Activate and Distribute. This would prevent them from either activating the form or sending it to anyone who might be able to fill it out. Click Save. The survey is now available to my collaborator. Now there's a few limitations to sharing this way. If you installed pictures or downloadable files in your form, these were properly stored in your account library within Qualtrics. Collaborators will not be able to access these files separately. If you created custom messages, such as different end-of-survey messages or an email invitation, these are stored in your library as well, and collaborators will not be able to access them or edit them. If you've mailed your project to a contact list stored within your contact list space in your individual user account, collaborators will not be able to reach that contact list, make modifications to it, or send the project to individuals in that list. But if your project involves files, images, messages, or contact lists, it can be shared through a group. This is a handy thing for offices, departments, teams of researchers, or collaborators generally to have, especially if their project is lengthy or complex, or they plan similar projects in the future. Let's take a look at groups in Qualtrics. In Qualtrics, groups are established and modified by an administrator. You can contact either the Center for Online Learning and Innovation or the Canisius College Help Desk to request that a group be created or to have members added or removed from a Qualtrics group. If someone shares a survey with a group, it is automatically shared with all members of that group according to the sharing stipulations that you set. Sharing with a group is similar to sharing with an individual with an extra step. Let's take a look. I'm going to share this survey, Demo Survey 1, with a group. I click the drop-down to the right, choose Share Project. Now this time I'm going to go to the User and Group Address Book. Click that link. And at the top of the following screen, I'm going to see all the groups that are available to me in Qualtrics here at Canisius College. I want to share this survey with Working Group Terrier. I'll highlight that, click Add Selected. Now, similar to when I shared with an individual, I should choose which tools and features I want to make available for this project to members of the group. In this case, I'll give them all capabilities that I can. Click Save, and now members of Working Group Terrier have access to this survey project in their Qualtrics account. This is a quick way to share with multiple people, especially if You have maybe a dozen or more working on a project or contributing in some way to a project, or perhaps accessing the resulting data or reports. Groups also add a library and a contact list level or space to the accounts of all group members. These libraries for files, messages, are exclusive to the group, meaning anything you add there, other group members can see and use, but only group members can see and use those assets. So in my library, in my personal library for messages, I have a message that's attached to a survey that I constructed. Now I can go to Working Group Terrier. This is a group library. And I see two messages that members of Working Group Terrier can access, edit, and potentially deploy for a survey. Similarly, in the graphics library, Working Group Terrier has an image that any member of Working Group Terrier could install in a survey. Contact lists are similar. If I go to my contact list space, I see that Working Group Terrier has a contact list that all members of the group can use to send a survey or a sign-up sheet or any other type of data gathering project to members of this list. These features make groups ideal for projects that involve more assets than simply a form with text questions. To stop sharing a project with a person or group, I go back to the sharing dialog and simply click the red and white icon to the right of either the individual or the group. Once I hit save, the survey will no longer be in that individual or those individuals' accounts in Qualtrics. One last important point. Whether shared with another user or group, the original creator of the project is the owner. As such, only she or he can share the project with anyone else. That is a feature that is reserved in Qualtrics to the owner of a project. So I click this drop-down, I see Share Project. I can share this project with anyone else. If I've shared this project with other people, they will see this grayed out, and they will not be able to access the Share Project window for this project. If ever you need to change ownership of a project, contact Kali or the Canisius College Help Desk.